Okay, so here we have it. Wow, look at this. Speaking of being rusty, I haven't even updated the factions. It's the Lizardmen versus the Dark Elves. Got so distracted with the intro card, I forgot about the actual title cards. So, it is round 3, so let's start with our red player. And switch things up a bit. So, to start with the Dark Elves, it looks like we're going to have Bleak Swords, 1, 2, 3, and 4 units of them. Also going to have Dread Spears, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Got 2 Dark Shards down here on the ground, ready to support. And we're also going to be seeing a contingent of 3 Dark Riders with shields. A single Cold One Knight for the heavy cavalry. It's going to disappear on me as soon as I try to get a somatic shot. And then there goes the army. And let's get a look at the rest of it. And it looks like we're going to have 2 Reaper Bolt Throwers, 2 Scourge Runner Chariots, and the man himself, Malekith, going to be riding his Cold One into battle. And oops, overshot him there. And it looks like we're going to be seeing the Gaze of Malice and Soul Stealer. Nothing else. ODM, would you kindly welcome to the stream, my friend? Now, taking a look at the Lizardmen, who already have the edge in the balance of power quite clearly, but don't pay much heed to that. We will see what happens based on the player's play on the field. And starting with the infantry for our blue player, we have Skink Cohort. Looks like 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them. We have Red-Crested Skinks being the Regiment of Renown cohort of Sotek. These bad boys are unbreakable. We're also going to be looking at Sora's Warriors with shields, 1, 2, 3 of them in total. In the back line, we're going to have some heavy cav with the Cold One Spear Riders. Bonus large versus large, and the armor piercing makes them very deadly. Got Pterodon Riders up in the air. Looks like 3 of them, including the ROR, Bahak Sentinels. The Cold One Rider here in the center, so no bonus versus large on them, but still very good weapon strength and armor piercing. And then we have another unit of Cold One Spear Riders on the right flank. Now, for the skirmishing, we do see 2 Chameleon Skinks hanging out up front to support those Pterodons in the air. And then we're going to be seeing a Salon Mage Priest of Fire, Burning Head Fireball, Shield of the Old Ones, Banishment, Grand Arcane Conduit, Kindle Flame. And then a Skink Priest of Heavens. We got Wind Blast, nothing else. Hey, Cesare Barkia, thank you so much for the follow, and sorry for butchering the pronunciation of your name. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like the 2 players are wishing good luck having fun. Dealers in death. Nagarothi! Something great plan. Whole lot of skinks. Wow. These guys are really just going at it with their battle speeches. Their armies must be so motivated. I mean, how could you not be with something like Hola Skinks? Got ourselves a couple comedians over here. Cesare Barkia. Good evening, actually. It's quite on point. Hell yes. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear it. But here we go. The action is beginning. And looks like the Dark Elves going out for some skirmish play with their Scourge Runner Chariots. We will see what they are targeting. Looks like a fireball coming out. And going to hit one of those Scourge Runner Chariots. But not destroy a model or anything like that. I'm sure they'll need a couple more before they get that kind of damage in. Seeing the Chameleon Skinks firing on them, they are going to be pulling to the opposite flank. Alright, Scourge Runner Chariots going in for some cheeky charges. Get some damage down. No nets to worry about or anything, so I suppose this is okay. As long as they keep a respectful distance from the Cold One Riders, they should be alright. Right now, it looks like these ones in the back line, though, may not have done that. And looks like we're going to see all 3 of their models now getting caught up in Cold Ones. And this could be bad news bears for the Dark Elves losing the Scourge Runner Chariot this early in the game. We'll see if it gets out of there. They are notoriously slippery. Alright, Dark Shards beginning to open fire. Chameleon Skink so far not getting the best value. They're just kind of pulling back right now after taking some decent damage by the looks of it. Cohort of Sotek is pushing out. They're actually pushing back towards the center right now, and it looks like they're going to kind of give up on trying to envelop the Dark Elf flank. Maybe looks like the Lizardmen are going to be trying to just refuse this flank and leave this whole group of infantry out here just out in the middle of nowhere, not providing any value. And it looks like the Lizardmen are indeed, upon refusing that flank, going to be investing more resources over here. Right now, a banishment going down. It looks like it did some friendly fire, unfortunately, but still, by the looks of it, some good damage to the Dark Elves also. Skink cohort diving in. It looks like the Lizardmen are going to narrowly pull that victory off with the addition of that infantry support. And this is a huge pickup for the Lizardmen, and now the balance of power is even more in their favor. Soul Stealer going down on top of the Lizardmen clump over here, catching the Cold Run Riders before they can escape from it. So getting 3 units in it, not bad, including a hero. Over here, Scourge Runner Chariot still has 3 models. Nope, I spoke too soon. Going down to 2 pretty much as soon as I mentioned it. A nice Wind Blast going down on top of the Dark Shards. And right now, though, I mean, anybody's game still as far as I'm concerned, but here comes Burning Head, and now the Lizardmen are just laying down the law right now with the magic. These Burning Heads have been absolutely devastating. The fireballs have been on point, and I mean, this is just some really good damage output from the Lizardmen, and just good unit management too, I have to say. He still has some healthy units in reserve, not forgotten about, but just kind of sitting in the back line for when they're needed, like now. So Cohort of Sotek going to come over here and easily just smash through the Dread Spears, no doubt in my mind about that. Over here in the back line, Lizardmen continuing to push further back. Looks like they got the Dark Shards compromised on the right flank, and the Reaper Bolt Thrower over here as well is going to be on the run for it. Days of Malice coming down. We get some decent damage in there, maybe a bit too far back. Could have been placed a little bit further forward, but there goes a Soul Stealer, and that Soul Stealer is going to be perfectly placed. You got 4 units in here, including the 2 Pterodons, who are really very pesky and just doing so much damage. And all of that's really, really helping the Dark Elves right now. They need every little bit of damage they can on top of the Lizardmen if they stand a snowball's chance in hell of winning this. And right now, it looks like the chances are slipping away further and further every minute this battle continues. Burning Head again. I love seeing the Salon Mage Priest of Fire. Lore of Fire is a very powerful spell, or Lore of Magic, and yeah, Salon Mage Priest, probably the ultimate firecaster in the game when you think about it. At this point, it looks like the Lizardmen have taken about 75% of the balance of power, and I think army losses are going to kick in any moment now. We do still have Malekith down here fighting against the Cohort of Sotek. Old One Spear Riders coming in to support them. With that, Iskandar Two Horned will concede defeat. I'm bummed we missed the first 2 battles, but glad we made it here for the tie-breaking round. And a huge congratulations to ODM Saphir, and better luck next time, Iskandar Two Horned. I mean, taking a look at the armies here, I do think the Scourge Runner Chariots there, you know, that was a pretty big loss early on in the game. Got a little bit too greedy with them and wasn't able to pull out, you know, remove them from the combat they had invested in. And from there, you know, it's going to be rough. They really needed all of that Scourge Runner ammunition to be shot down on top of Cold Ones. I think just over time, you know, basically to assert the dominance in the mobility game. But they went down pretty quickly, and downhill from there. But the Lizardmen here, once again, just want to shout out the Salon Mage Priest of Fire. Nice to see, you know, not just Mazda Mundi or, you know, the more meta picks. And yeah, this guy has a ton of potential. I mean, you just got to remember, like, lores of magic, you know, they're wonderful. And even if there's like a super meta lord, you have to remember Lizardmen, like, they have the most powerful caster lords in the game. Best access to pools of magic with rare exceptions. You know, of course, like, you have Teclis and stuff, who's like a monster when it comes to magic pools. But the Salon Mage Priest are all just very, 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 you know, high magic pool casters. And think bringing them with a high damage output Lore of Magic like Lore of Fire can really return dividends, as we saw here. Just crazy value on top of that guy. King Priest of Heavens, once, we saw some decent Wind Blast in there, but I think some of them were cast a bit too forward, meaning that the widest point of their arc of fire was like past the infantry they were engaged with, and you really want to make sure you kind of cast those a little bit further back. I'm not the best at it, especially with Scabscrath or things like that, where the widest arc point in the arc is like pretty far ahead of you, and you really have to like cast it far away from the unit you're intending to target. So yeah, definitely think that's what we're seeing there. Unlike Burning Head, where you don't need to worry about that. You just put it right where you want it to start doing damage, and then it will keep doing damage in whatever path it goes. Burning Head plus 2 free banishments equals goodbye infantry. Yeah, no, it was beautiful. It was wonderful play there from the Salon Mage Priest of Fire. The banishments as well. I forgot to mention those. But congratulations, he's going to be moving up to the final to compete against Sith McHayden, or